It's super fun. You do it to jazz music, and it's the cutest and most ridiculous partner dance that I've ever tried.
It's like a way of having a conversation without actually talking. Something about those, 3 minutes you really just connect with someone. You don't normally get that out of the world.
Swing era dances are dances that came out of the African American communities, primarily in Harlem, New York, in roughly the 30s.
It arose at a time when there was widespread racial segregation in America, and it was a product of the African American community.
Before the emergence of swing, the variety of dance in America was confined to more traditional styles, such as the waltz.
As far as ballroom dance was concerned, things were very rigidly determined. There were many, many rules about how to engage with your partner, the correct way to move, all of these things.
This was the case until jazz music began to gain popularity, adding a new type of energy to the American dance floor.
These dances spread across the country just like the music spread across the country. These dances are done to typically big band era swing music.
Swing dancing broke many of these norms. The jazz music, of course, was breaking the norm, and then the movement of the dancers, which was described as erratic and nonsensical.
Specifically, Lindy Hop is the original swing dance that came out of the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem, New York, and that was really popular in the 1930s in particular. The best example of the really best and most famous Lindy Hoppers of all time are Whitey's Lindy Hoppers, and they were from the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem.
I'm mistaken. Here comes something now.
So Frankie Manning was one of the original swing dancers from the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem. He was a member of Whitey's Lindy Hoppers, and he happened to also be the first person to ever throw the follower. He created the first air step, which was quite remarkable. He had watched Lindy Hop rise and fall to the point where he had to leave being a professional dancer and go join the post office.
Are you Frankie Manning the dancer? I said, no, I'm Frankie Manning the postal worker. She said, but did you used to dance with Whitey's Lindy Hoppers? I said, yeah, I used to.
The end of the Second World War brought significant cultural change to America. Though it remained popular in the early 50s, swing dance gradually began to decline over the years.
So something magical started to happen. I think it was really around 82. It's like the stars aligned somewhere, because in one pocket in Sweden, they got their hands on some of the old videos, and they were just amazed and thought, we have to learn this. Separately from that, a couple of dancers in California also became interested in it.
This sudden resurgence of swing brought new life to the dance, as well as the careers of swing legends like Frankie Manning.
Frankie wanted to spread it around the world. It was a joy to him, and for Frankie it was a revival, him personally. Seeing it become popular again, and he actually started to have the second career as a Lindy Hop instructor traveling the world. So by the end of the 90s when I started, it was filling a different kind of gap, I think, for people. And there's an article written in the Toronto Eye magazine. Overnight, we had a lineup around the block. Not only young people, I think all sorts of people that were missing a little bit of a connection with people, that sense of community. Something's happening now that I think is good. There's been kind of this movement and recognition lately that we need to pay more attention to the history and to the black roots of the dance.
There's a big discussion of why is it that this has become a predominantly white art form, and why has this become a predominantly affluent pastime?
The important thing to remember is like where it came from. for me as an African American kid, that was pretty cool to look on the screen and see other people that look just like me dancing. And I think that it would be more kids doing it if they were able to see that.
Traditionally, men would lead and women would follow.
Everyone walks into the room with the baggage of men and women dance together, and men tell women what to do. That's cultural baggage that we don't need to be reinforcing. But also you are seeing a movement within teaching in general towards doing what's often been called everybody leads, everybody follows classes. You have people knowing what it is to feel things on both sides.
So as a teacher of swing dance workshops in schools, I focus on the history of the dance and thinking about who produced it and what we can learn from them. And then at the same time, encouraging students to embrace the spirit of Lindy Hop, which is really to connect with another person and to be creative and explore and come up with their own movements and push the dance forward by being inventive and creative.
If we want it to continue to thrive and be a living dance, we also need to push the boundaries and incorporate new ideas, because in many ways that's where it came from. It wasn't a prescriptive dance at the time in the 1930s. It came out of the music. It evolved organically.
I think the great thing about swing dancing is that it brings people together across those barriers and even across language.
My big hope for it is for it to become more mainstream. Get more acknowledgement. Just seeing it get more attention and more love would be pretty cool. And just see it just evolve more. Become something bigger than what it is now.
Not everyone's destined to become a Lindy Hopper and fall in love with it, but I hope that people can all kind of know what it is, and if they did get to try it once, even if they never did it again, that they had a positive impression of it and a positive experience they can remember. Like, oh yeah, I tried swing dancing once, that was really fun.
Hey, brother, what you thinking? That good old sound is ringing. They don't know what they're missing. Legs ain't got time to lay low. Your knees are bending, so it's time to get up and let go. Hey, brother, miss